Welcome back to the Success Blueprint podcast. Myself and my partner, Jason Grider. We have a special guest that I really enjoy. He is a mentor. He's actually my business coach. And I really appreciate this guy and value him for so many things. Dustin Runyon. I'm going to let you kind of do your own intro of your bio because there's so much there to uncover. Yeah. So in 10 seconds, doesn't have to be that short, but tell us who you are, what you're working on now, where you've came from, and all of that. We'll dive into real deep, but give us that short bio.
Oh, I love it. I love it when you do stuff like this. You know, when someone's like, "Hey, let's start off really quick," and you just talk about yourself for the first 10 to 15 seconds. That feels great. Thanks, Morgan. Appreciate you, brother. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm a real estate team leader. So I have a real estate sales team. I'm a developer and I'm a real estate coach, and that's what I'm doing now. So I have a real estate team out in Arizona, a development company, and I coach real estate professionals and other business professionals as well.
So Dustin, we met you through a mutual friend. Jason and I did the amazing Kevin Kaufman and Fred Weaver. And when Jason and I both saw you, it's been so many times. I can't remember like the first time, but I remember thinking like, man, this guy is an incredible leader. Yeah. This guy is an incredible person, and the philosophy and the passion that you have behind things. Take us back to maybe where some of this started, and that's what's pretty awesome is your story and who you are is really who you've came from, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I actually I got a 1.6. I had a 1.6 GPA coming out of high school, so I was 333 out of 335 graduating class, and the only way I graduated was my grandpa finished the classes for me because I got kicked out of school. I got caught pranking the school. And so I got kicked out of school, and the only way they let me go to finish was by finishing classes through an online thing that my grandpa had done for me. And I dropped out of college too. We went to like I only went to a junior college just so I didn't have to work and didn't have to do anything. I was fairly like non-motivated and fairly undriven. And I got into real estate because my mom had been into real estate, and I don't know, they drove nice cars. So I was like, I want to get into real estate and I want to drive a nice car. And so at 21, I started working in 2008, and it was for, I don't know if you know 2008 in Arizona, but it was short sale central. And I didn't even know what a short sale was. So started negotiating short sales, and still hadn't really grown up till I was about 25 years old. We had done about 250 short sales, but I still kind of had that like degenerate, I was still cashing my checks at the bar, you know what I mean, every weekend. And so, but here's what was crazy is I worked at an independent brokerage, and the way we had gotten our business was the internet and door knocking. So, internet lead generation was kind of new, and door knocking was like the old school. So we pull 30, 60, 90-day lates from the title company. And then what I would do is I would call them, circle prospect them, and then I'd go knock on their doors. And we had this thing called cash for keys, which essentially was like, hey, don't mess up your house, and the bank will give you a couple grand to leave it in good condition. And then the internet, and that's what we did, and was social media had just started popping off at that time. So about 4 years later, I came down and I became a technology director for a Keller Williams in Lake Havasu City. And here was what was fascinating. I'm 25. I'm young. I'm naive. My dad had left for like 14 years, so I didn't have like a lot of. My mom worked a lot. Love her to death for it. Worked a lot, but I didn't have like a whole lot of guidance, and so I think the naivety was a little bit higher. I just wanted to make a lot of money and like be rich, and I
didn't care how it happened. Didn't care how it happened. You just wanted it to happen.
Correct. And I didn't realize this till later on. I was just trying to fill voids and insecurities that I had on my own self. But I go into this office, and here's the main part of this. This office had all the training, all the education. They literally gave leads to all of their agents. They had this thing called the bus, and you could be on part of the bus, and they would actually send you leads, which was insane to me. I come from a independent brokerage. You hang your license and it's good luck, right?
Yeah.
So they give you all the training, all the education, everything that you would need to succeed. Like training is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? You get leads. And there was still people failing. And at 25 years old, I was like, how is this a thing? How are people given everything that they need to succeed? Grown adults given everything that they need to succeed, and they're still failing. And that became my fascination, which is why do people do what they do? And I was the technology director because what I did was I taught blogging was a big thing. So I did blogging, I did YouTube, I did social media, and I taught online lead generation. And then some of the top agents in the company hired me for it. Then the company hired me for it. And then I was the technology director. Then I was just naturally had good energy and I communicated fairly well. And then I became the team leader. And so they sent me to team leader boot camp. And on my way to team leader boot camp, I had read one book, which was called, the book was called Never Eat Alone. And it talked about purposeful networking. And one of the principles in the book was like, when you show up to a place, know who's going to be there and have a goal of like who you're going to talk to. And so I showed up an hour and a half early to this team leader boot camp. And the guy running the team leader boot camp was a guy named Gene Frederick. Oh. Do you know Gene Frederick?
Yeah.
He's as one of the largest downlines now, currently in EXP. And we started talking. He's like, where are you from, Arizona? He's like, oh, I went to ASU. I'm like, oh, awesome, blah, blah, blah. And anyways, we start the class. We talked for an hour. Start the class. He's like, all right, guys, I'm going to be giving away books. I'm going to be giving away some books. And we're going to start with the very first one. Does anyone know where I went to college? I raised my hand. I'm like, ASU. He had just told me the hour prior. And he gave me a John Wooden. He gave me a John Wooden book. Do you know John Wooden?
Oh, yeah.
UCF basketball coach. And that book was like that. It like blew my mind. And I was like, wow, this is like, holy shit.
Right.
And I just got obsessed with personal development, and I got obsessed with human psychology, and I got obsessed of why people do what they do and what made the difference in the quality of people's lives and the quality of people's emotions. And that just became my obsession.
Dang. That's pretty cool. And you've obviously rode that through. I mean, I remember the first time seeing you and thinking, okay, I love this guy's energy. I love the fact that he comes to the table and there really wasn't an agenda other than to be a help, other than to contribute. A lot of times I had been to so many things beforehand where every time there was definitely some contribution going on, but a lot of it was, okay, this is why I'm really here. Is I'm selling you something, I'm doing something else. But every time I've seen you speak, it's just all about contributing to others. And where does that even come from? I know that that's a drive of yours, is to help others. Mm-hmm. Where does that come from?
I know, and I didn't know this early on, but like in life, I don't know if you guys have ever had like a friend that's like screwed you over, or like, a buddy in high school that like, I don't know, you have an ex-girlfriend and all of a sudden they're hanging out, or, you had a boss that you worked for that was just kind of an asshole or whatever that means. I had a lot of that for whatever reason, and not playing the victim to it. But I just remember saying to myself, was like, I just want to be to others what I wish someone would be to me. There's like, and that was like the golden rule, right? Which is like treat others the way you want to be treated. But then I learned like what the platinum rule was, which was like treat others the way they want to be treated. And in order to figure out how someone else wants to be treated, you've got to be curious about them and you got to show interest in their life. Yeah. And I just know this, man, and I've learned it through maturing, through growing over these years, but like, what bad can go wrong from giving?
It's true.
Like, answer that question. Like, what is the worst thing that can happen by giving? And so I just always, like, every room I try to be in is I just try to contribute as much as I can, best I can, and I let the God or universe or whatever, I let that shake it out. And it's there's success financially, but then there's fulfillment. And like, if you've ever you guys both make great money, and you ever make money, you realize, yes, it meets certain needs and it helps out, but it doesn't fulfill you. Fulfillment comes from contribution, right? And the way that you can contribute more to the lives of the people around you. The only way to contribute more to the lives of the people around you, whether it's your friends, your family, strangers, coworkers, whatever it may be, is for you to grow.
Right.
Because the more you grow, the more you can contribute. The more you grow, the more you can give. And so if you really look at it this way, if your goal is simply to give, well, then you must grow. Because if you don't grow, you'll start to give at the expense of yourself. So it's the ultimate leverage. I want to give to the lives of the people around me. And the only way for me to do that at a higher level every single year is for me personally to grow at a higher level.
I love that. Your leadership, you and I have talked a lot about it. And one thing, I mean, Dustin, is that something, I know it didn't come absolutely natural to you. I know that's something that we've talked about through pain and all sorts of different things in your life. Because to love and to give is one thing, but to be an extreme leader like yourself that holds those accountable, and you carry this, I don't want to say aura, but you have this thing about you that people know that standard, right? Like who you are, that standard. And Jason and I mean, not speak for him, but I know he's going to say yes when I say what we like about Dustin is what we see is what we get, and we know exactly who he is, right? So a lot of that leadership, where did this come from? Like, where did you learn it? How did you develop it?
I started out as a people pleaser, man. I just wanted people to love me and like me, and I wanted people to think I'm awesome, and I wanted people to tell me how great I was. And it came from a place of insecurity. And it was funny because that's when I started making a little bit of money. And I don't know if you've ever made 100 and then spent 100, made 200, spent 200, I was spending money I was spending money on my friends and family and people to try to get them to like me, or buying things and cars and houses to get to be liked. And I realized that was like a dead end road. And so not only did I end up broke with no money to pay my taxes at the end of the year, but like the type of people that attracts is like not the right people. Right.
Right.
And so I learned through like coaching and therapy. And I went through years and years of therapy and growing as a human being, that people pleasing only works for the person being pleased. And it actually, in business, people pleasing, when it comes to like, you want to make everybody happy, it's like trying to make your kid happy all the time. They become entitled. It actually makes them worse. So I realized that growth was the constant pursuit of the truth. And it starts with you, like the constant pursuit of my truth. So I was making everybody else happy, but I wasn't making myself happy. So I was living in alignment with everybody else instead of living in alignment with myself. And so I had this constant chaos in my mind and this constant, like, almost like anxiety. And it wasn't until I started living in alignment with myself and then just speaking the truth.
Right.
Like, I love you to death, but it's like, hey, are you doing what it is you need to be doing? No, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what is it that you want? So love is the highest form of accountability. And so like, it's like I lead with this love and I care about you, but I care enough about you to like ask you, like, it's like someone's like, I want to lose the weight. I'm like, what's putting the weight on? Like, what do you want to be at?
Right.
185. What are you at? 225. Okay. So you want to lose what? 40 pounds? Yeah. What puts the weight on? And they're like, I'm like, you drinking? You eating like shit? Do you eat late at night? How often you eat? Like, you just ask the questions. Let's just solve the problem. Right.
Yeah.
And then what I learned is I thought by talking to people like, hey, you look so great. Everything's so great. You're awesome. Yeah. Like what it is it's, when we just try to please all of the time, we avoid. I'm trying to avoid conflict because there was a lot of conflict in my home growing up. So I just wanted to avoid conflict at all costs. But what I didn't realize was conflict is actually what allows us to get to that next level. Like, you can't have a breakthrough without conflict. And so I wanted to know. I wanted to normalize conflict. And then when someone says have a hard conversation, well, if you have hard conversations all the time, they're just conversations. And then what I started to realize was when I started to live in alignment with myself, with what I wanted, my values, my behavior, and my principles in my life, and started to live in alignment with myself, I started to attract people that liked that. See, when we try to live in alignment with everybody else, we have to put a mask on all the time. Right? We got to be this person for this person, this person for this person, this person for this person. You've heard this. If you try to be something for everybody, you're nobody.
That's draining too.
It's very draining. And you play politics, and it's a terrible way to live. It really is. And so if you're listening to this and you're a people pleaser, like, boundaries are huge. Number one. Number two is, like, get in alignment with yourself. Know what it is that you value. Know what it is that you want. Know what the principles. Find a mentor to help you to get the principles that you need to get to where you want to be. And when you're aligned in those areas, when your values align with your actions and with your desires, dude, you stop caring what people think. The only time I start to care what people think is when I'm out of alignment. Right? And then you're like, no, I don't want to go to that dinner. Because what I was after was being liked, and what I'm after today is being respected. I say this to leaders all the time. You want to be loved or respected? Pick one. They all want to be respected. I'll go, cool. So first of all, that starts with you living in your truth. It's really hard to hold other people accountable when you don't hold yourself accountable. And the number one reason why leaders don't hold their people to a higher accountability standard is because they don't hold themselves to a higher standard. Right? I always say this, guys, I'm not asking you to raise $100 million. I'm asking you to do 20 connects a day. I'll raise the 100 million. Don't worry about it. I expect more from me than I could ever even ask of you. And I love you enough and care about your family enough to where you need to do it. Like, I'm in my office right now, and I walk out of here, and it happens all the time. I walk out of here and I open the door. I go, what are you guys doing? What do you mean? I go, what is this conversation productive? I go, you have 0 pending. You have 2. And dude, you have 6. You should be the leader. You know better, guys. What are we doing here? And they all scramble. Nah. I go, love you guys. So when you live in truth, you can lead in truth. Most people struggle leading in truth because they don't live in truth. Does this make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I like the conflict part, and I love how you say that you had conflict, so you try to avoid that, and I guess, how do you twist it? Because I do believe that there is the good conflict, that what you're saying, and to help others. So how can you, lack of better words, conflict out of love?
Curiosity. So curiosity is the number one. Curiosity without judgment is the single number one way to get to the root of an issue with somebody. Because judgment is the enemy of influence. So judgment throws up walls. So when statements oftentimes feel like attack, where questions out of genuine curiosity, even if they're rhetorical. It's like, I may know the answer as I know the answer. It's like, if somebody's like, I'm just giving this as an example, right? If somebody's like 50 pounds overweight, I know why.
Right.
More calories in than going out. It's like, I know the answer, right? Yeah. But if I go like, hey, you need to start doing this, and you need to start doing that, and the wall goes up.
Absolutely.
If I'm like, hey, so what does it look like right now? What are you eating right now? Right. And then they'll make it really vague. I actually eat pretty good. And I'm like, okay, like, specifically, what is it? Right. Oftentimes when you're trying to get to the center of something, vagueness, the reason why people keep things vague is so they can avoid accountability. So a good question for leaders to ask is, specifically, what do you mean? Or like, specifically, what did you eat? Someone's like, what'd you do yesterday? Oh, I had a busy day. What'd you do specifically? Oh, I just, in the morning I had this and I had that. What time? Can I see your calendar? Do you mind if I see your calendar? And these things come from genuinity, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to see the world through their eyes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, someone's not doing what they need to be doing. Hey, just wanted to follow up. How's everything going? It's all right. It's all right. Like 1 to 10. They're like, a 6. And I go, okay, what do you think your commitment level is 1 to 10? They're like, oh, like a 4 or 5. When you ask out of genuinity, they can feel it. It's authentic. Yeah. And they usually speak truth, as long as there isn't judgment. Now, when you start making statements is when people stop telling the truth. And so you know this and you can feel it inside of a conversation. When you lead with curiosity and you lead with observation and you get specific, what you'll do if you don't judge is you'll start to earn the right to give advice. Right? In a business sense, we had an agreement. Right? When you came onto my team, you had agreed to our standards, which was 20 connects a day. Show up to our team meetings and don't be an asshole. Correct? Yeah. Great. I go, so what is your commitment level 1 to 10 to hitting the 20 connects? And they're like an 8. And I go, okay, can I see your connect sheet? And they're like, yeah, let me go get it. I go, I got it right here. Sorry, my bad. I'm like, so what does your connect sheet say about your commitment level? You hit 9 here, 8 here, 7 here, 12 here, and 0 here. What does the commitment sheet say about what does the connect sheet say about the sheet say about your commitment level? What would you say it is 1 to 10? People do not change by you trying to get them to change. People decide to change through self-realization. And the only way people will self-realize is if you take them through the journey that they need to go through psychologically to see it themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you got to get them to see it. You can't shove it in their face.
That takes a lot of discipline, because it's so easy just to say, oh, here's the problem, versus, you just want to say that so bad. So, I mean, that probably takes a lot of practice, or does that come naturally?
Have you ever tried doing that with your wife? She's got a problem in either one of you.
I just heard a podcast today that was the same thing. And so like the eating thing, right? On the podcast, it was, oh geez, I can't even think of his name right now. Oh, Average Sucks. Michael,
Burnoff.
And it was his podcast. And he was like, I can't tell my wife, like when she's like, oh man, I don't like the way, and it's like, well, the way that you're eating and this and this and this. He's like, that's not going to go very well. He's like, so you just got to ask, like, what do you think would make you feel better? What do you think is going to, how's your exercise? How's your workouts going? Are you enjoying them? And then he's like, there's no way in hell I'm going to say, so.
There's two sides to that too, guys. It's like, your wife, I always say this when it comes to like your spouse, right? Is like, they don't want the solution. They want you to listen.
Yeah.
Like, there's a really good YouTube video. You should watch it. We won't pull it up now, but if you're listening to the podcast, it's called Nail in the Head. So Nail in the Head. You guys should watch that. You've seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
So listening is what, with your spouse, that's what you should probably do. In business, the only way you can, you got to ask questions and then actually genuinely listen. And then you have to be patient. Whenever I have a conversation, I'm not committed to a certain outcome. No commitment to the outcome. I'm committed to finding out where this person is and what their commitment level is to doing the thing. Right? Yeah. And so I'm not committed for them to stay on the team. I'm not committed to them to make calls. I'm not committed to not make calls. I am good with whatever happens. I'm just committed to know what their commitment level is. And so, yes, it does take patience, and the journey takes time, but you get pretty good at it the more you do it. I mean, body language is a big thing. Tonality is a big thing. Inflection of your voice is a big thing. But yeah, people don't like being watched. Do you guys like being told what to do?
No,
no one does.
No one does. Your kids don't. Neither do you. Like I always say, ask you, what were you doing there, buddy? It's like, if you did this with your children, the best place to practice this with your kids. Curiosity instead of statements. So statements usually come from judgment, and then curiosity usually comes from actual genuine care.
Well, and it's way more likely to change outcomes if they're the ones dialing it up versus you telling them what to do. I mean, I don't see a lot of change from people when you just tell them what to do all the time, right?
Yeah. It's like someone comes in the office like, gosh, I'm tired today. And I'm like, did you get any sleep last night? Here's the next thing that you want to do too, is called questions of accountability. So you're asking questions about things they are in control of. Notice I didn't say, was there traffic this morning? It's like, you showed up late. Was there traffic this morning? I go, what time did you go to bed last night? Right? The only reason somebody's tired is diet, exercise, sleep, and like stress levels. But guess what helps stress levels? Diet, exercise, and sleep.
True.
Right. So it's like, if anyone's tired, doesn't feel good, whatever, I always ask questions like, I'm trying to find the symptom. Or I'm not trying to find the symptom, excuse me. Everyone focuses on the symptom. I'm focused on the thing that is causing the symptom. So everyone is focused on the effect.
Yeah.
As the leader, you want to focus on the cause. Okay. And here's the other thing. People obsess over problems, and you have to realize problems is called being human. So if you have problems, congrats, you're alive. I don't have sympathy. Whenever somebody's going through something hard, I'm like, this is going to be so good for you. I get excited.
It's true though, right?
Yeah.
They're always going to be stronger.
My buddy's going through something really, really difficult right now. I'm like, dude, I'm so excited for you, bro. It is good. You're going to be an animal when you come out on the other side of this. Oh, and by the way, do the 20 connects with all your problems. Because watch this, guys. You guys all have problems in your life, right?
Right.
Does not doing the work at work make those problems better or worse?
Worse.
Oh, it always amplifies them.
Every time.
So not doing the thing just makes them worse. So if you have problems, awesome. Now you have an opportunity. What? To show up to work and get it done. Dude, yeah, human beings are addicted to problems. And their biggest problem is they think they shouldn't have them. And so they'll use problems as a way to lower their commitment. When the elite and the most successful people use problems as a way to increase their level of commitment.
So Dustin, that we are big on recruiting. That's one of the reasons why you and I are business partners, right? Like as far as you coaching.
Yes.
So when an agent, for those listening and watching and wanting to grow a team and want to know how this works, I truly know that you're like the best. When a new agent comes on your team, like what advice would you do? What walk them through like what that first week looks like? Like help us understand that a little bit.
Yeah. So I keep it very, very simple. And you guys should go Google the iterations of the Raptor SpaceX rocket. It's funny because there's like about 3 or 4 different iterations of them, maybe more now. But the first one looked so complex. The second one less complex, and then the third one, once they got to the best version of it, it almost looks like nothing. Like it's so simple. And so I want your onboarding to be very, very simple. I want your activities to be simple. The reason why we don't simplify things is so that we can avoid hard conversations or we can avoid accountability. Avoid doing the thing. So once you bring an agent on, the most important is that they understand the standards, the expectations, and the values of the organization. Okay. So like our standards are 20 connects a day, show up to the team meeting, and the trainings, don't be an asshole. Our values are personal development. If you don't like personal development, I'm not your guy. You're like, I'm not into personal development. I'm not really into that stuff, Dustin. It's anytime anybody's like, oh, it's not really my thing, and they came on, even if they were a great person, never worked out. So you got to be into personal development. You got to be into personal responsibility. You got to own your shit. You don't own your shit, get out. And the third, you have to have a spirit of contribution. Okay. And I'm going over that on day one. That's the onboarding. We're onboarding them. We're really showing them who we are as a team. And we're dead serious about it. It's not something we have just written on the walls. Okay. And then we get them on the phones day 2. Starting on your standards. What is that? 20 connects a day. And if you're a brand new agent with 0 pending, you should do 20 connects in the morning, 20 connects in the evening. Because guys, please answer this question for me. If you're on a real estate team and you're a brand new sales agent, what else are you doing if you're not making calls?
Exactly.
Trying to make their post perfect.
You shouldn't be posting. You're not doing anything. Because you should only post what you're doing.
Right.
You should not be creating content. Because people don't want to do, and you know this, guys, people don't want to do business with agents who know the numbers of the market the best. People want to do deals with agents that do the most deals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about the attorney that you're going to hire. Do you want a slow attorney or a busy one?
Busy.
Right?
Absolutely.
So in the professional service world, results are what people are looking for. So in the beginning, when you're brand new, you got to work harder than everybody else to get them. And when you do that for 24 to 36 months, you start to build a database and a sphere of influence and a place where people know, like, and trust you. And then it gets easier. And after 5 years, you have these people like lifestyle agents that I call them. They're lifestyle agents. They've integrated completely into their life. They do 30, 40 deals a year and they make 300 grand a year and they work 30 hours a week. Yeah, but they work 70 for 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So our onboarding is 20 connects a day, morning, night. Now, if you don't make your connects, no worries. We put you on a performance improvement plan immediately. So the second you don't make it, I don't care the reason you didn't make it, unless you like got in like a deathly car accident or like you went to the hospital for like, if it's an everyday thing, like, oh, I had to drop my kids off at school. No worries. We're got to put you on the performance improvement plan. And here's what this is going to rock. Do you remember when we first started 3 days ago? Yeah. Did we cover the standards clearly enough for you? Well, yeah. I go, do you know what they are? Well, yeah, there are 20 connects a day. Okay. Did you get those done yesterday? No. Okay. And we did talk about the performance improvement plan, correct? Yes. Awesome. So what's your commitment level moving forward on a scale of 1 to 10 to hitting your connects daily? They go, a 10. I go, awesome. So commitment's defined by the result. And so on this piece of paper, which is our performance improvement plan, it's just going to say what we're committed to these next 30 days. Okay. So we'll write this out, get this done. You and I will both sign it. And then what you'll do is at the end of each day, you just shoot me over how many connects that you made. Is that good? Does that work? Great. 2 weeks later, they don't do it again. Jim, come on in. Yeah. How's it going, buddy? Good. I go, so I saw, how did yesterday go? He's like, oh, it went all right. I wasn't feeling that great. I was like, oh, what happened? Did you not get any sleep? He's like, no. I was like, was it something you ate? No. I go, did you go out last night? No, I just wasn't feeling very good. Like, all right. I go, so I saw you didn't hit your connects again. So we're going to have to put you on another performance improvement plan. Okay. This is like the second one. Okay. This is our second one in under 30 days, man. Can I ask you a question yet? What are your thoughts about the whole real estate thing? Or do you think it's for you? Here's what I want to do, guys. I want to get this agent. If I bring on 10, I want you firing 6 in 30 days. Because nothing will drain the agents on your team, the veteran agents on your team and the good agents on your team, more than them contributing to all these agents who don't do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you keep them longer than they should. You keep them 3-4 months when you should have fired them day 30. You saw the red flags, but you wanted to ignore them because you brought your emotions into it.
Yep.
And you keep them 3-4 months. And then all of a sudden, like I'll be honest with you, I did it last year, the beginning of last year. I had to fire 21 people, but I kept them all 3 months too long.
Admin,
And
everything.
it just
sucks. It just drains everything out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It drains you.
Yeah.
Dude, I have our director of growth. She gets as much. We have like her recruiting points. So as she brings on people, she gets, certain things for her bonus. As many people as she hires, I give her the same recruiting point for people she fires. So she's incentivized to get rid of them.
Hmm.
And that, I don't want that to sound harsh. I don't want to string the agent out. Guys,
True.
it's hard enough at 20 connects right now.
Right.
Like if you make 20 connects and you're a brand new agent, guys, 20 connects a day and you're a brand new agent, it's already difficult enough. So if you're going to be spotty and inconsistent, like I'm not going to try to sell you some like pipe dream that you're going to win.
Yeah.
I've got agents on my team that have been here for 5 years that are hitting 20 connects a day that do 17 deals, this isn't like I work 20 hours a week and that's not, and I'm gonna make 100 grand. You're clinically delusional.
So let's jump ship. So we talked about new agents. You work with a lot of successful people. You work with a lot of business owners. You've seen a lot of successful people in your networks and your coaching group that you're in. What is some of the, the common things that you see that everybody does? And so, like we said before the podcast, I mean, everything's really a simple thing to success. What is it that you see as some of these common things, and how do people use them, to their advantage?
I would say the number one is there's no desire to disengage. So, and they have everyone that is that in their life, whether that be their spouse, their family, their friends, everyone around them has bent. Most people bend to the world instead of the successful people that I've been around. They make the world bend around them. And so, like, most people want to work to make money so they can go disengage. They can go not think about it. They can go on a vacation. They could go do the things that they want to do. Whereas, like, the most successful people, I'm talking guys like, I mean, tens and 20s and 30s, hundreds to my business partner's a billionaire. They just have no desire to disengage. They'll take the call at the pool. They'll talk about business at the pool. They'll talk about work at the pool. They'll talk about work with their family while we're at dinner with them, with their family. They talk about work with their kids. Like, they don't demonize work. And they don't, it's another way of saying this is there's an obsession. And so what a lot of people do is you think you're going to make $1 million a year, you're going to net $1 million a year, not being obsessed. Like, you're insane. And the only way to do that is to take some extreme risk, like financially,
Yeah.
And so obsession, no desire to disengage, and they have their friends, family, spouse 100% all on board, not on board to the point to where they're excited about it. Like, hey, I got a buddy who's got a bunch of dealerships, and his wife's like, yeah, so we're scaling here, we're going to move here, and our goal is to be at this many by the end of this year, and our goal next year is to do, like, she's just as excited and fired up about it. Go take that call, right? Whereas so the successful people, they make the world around them bend to them. I'm not bending to the world. That's probably the number one. And I would say the second thing is that they're not very good at much, but they're very good at one thing. Like, they found something and they get, like, insanely good at one thing. And most leaders that are obsessed, most leaders that I know that lean more towards, I guess, my style, the more visionary style of as long as their action matches that, they've surrendered to the fact that they don't want to disengage and they're all in and they're obsessed, is they're insanely good communicators. So they're just really good at communication. They know tonality, they know inflection, they know questions, they're really good with relationships. Like, because the higher you go in business, like, everyone's driven.
It's true.
So what's going to set you apart if you're like, you can only work 168 hours a week, and that's 24 hours a day, right? So you can legitimately only work like 140, maybe 130 hours a week, depending on how old you are. So once you have 130 hours a week, you have to influence other people. So you got to bring talent in, and you got to get in relationship with talent. And then even as you go higher and higher in bigger businesses, my buddy who's relationships is everything. And communication helps with that a lot.
Yeah, communication. It seems like anyone that I've seen that's done remarkably well has been able to just simplify things. So they'll take a complicated subject or something complicated, and they'll be able to simplify it and basically explain that just in a simple, easy way so everyone can understand so quickly. And that's almost a gift. I don't know. It seems like those people that have done that, though, have always done well.
Simplicity is leverage. So if I just make it that simple, then you have no reason to not do it.
It's true.
Right? It's like, and then, also, like, it becomes easy. Someone's like, this is so hard. I go, what if it was like super easy?
Yeah.
Right? Like nothing that you want in your life is overtly complex. Like if someone that's recruiting, right? They're like, I can't find any talent. And I go, you can't? Like, no, I live in a big town. I live in a small town. I live in a medium-sized town. I mean, you've heard it all, right?
Right.
It's like, I'm too young until I'm too old. Like, and so I'm like, okay, can I just ask you this question? They go, yeah. I'm like, do me a favor. Call 10 people a day and see if they have any interest in joining your team. And use this script and do it for 6 months, Monday through Friday. And if your team doesn't grow in those 6 months, then you've proven me wrong. If you call 10 people a day and you invite them to your team meetings and you invite them to your trainings and you invite them and you let them know that I was coaching a guy this morning. He has an HVAC company. They crush. And he's like, it was funny. We crushed in December. I'm like, what happened? He's like, well, we had this offer and we weren't telling anyone about the offer. I'm like, how can anyone take you up on your offer if you don't tell them you have the fucking offer? Right? So it's like, how does anyone join your team if they don't know that you want them to join your team?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you talk to 10 people a day, Monday through Friday, that's 50, that's 200 a month. 6 months, you talk to 1,200 people. How many of those 1,200 do you need to join your team? You know, 1,200. So if I do 1,200, 1% is 12. Meaning if you talk to 10 people a day, Monday through Friday, all year long, you've just added 24 additional people to your team. The average person does 12 transactions their first year. That's an additional $288,000, 288 units. If your average is 5,000 a check, that's $1.4 million more to your company from 10 conversations a day. Yeah, but me. Yeah, but I had so much going. Yeah, but I had so. Yeah, but I had. Yeah, but I. Yeah, but I. Yeah, but I. Sound. People just sound like Roger Rabbit. Yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but. It's so simple,
Right.
right? How do you? It's like, how do you have a bunch of money in your bank? You stop spending it.
True.
Like never.
Yeah.
I always say this. It's like you go to the gym. You ever left the gym and been like, I regret that. You ever end the year and you got a bunch of money in your bank and you're like, damn it, I wish I would have spent more money this year on shit that didn't matter. I wish I would have increased my lifestyle to like appease other people, or I wish I would have increased my lifestyle so I could avoid connecting with my spouse and building a real relationship. Like you spend less. It's that simple.
Right.
So you're right. You simplify things and you make it that easy.
I love that. Man, so leadership, what would you say, Dustin? So you're very direct. You're obviously very skilled at this. What would you say is the hardest part? So when you make everything look so easy, what would you, and I know it's not, but what would you say is the hardest part?
Well, it depends what business it's in. The cool thing about the real estate business and why I love it so much, and I love the sales business and the team business, is like it's always in your control. Like you get into the development business, man, it's not always in your control. Like hard work doesn't solve the problem. Like hard work in real estate sales and real estate team, it solves the problem like 100% of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And like you get millions and millions of inventory for free. It's like, it's just the greatest business ever. In development, it's like the hardest part there is municipality and raising capital. In the real estate team, it's human beings. Like people is the hardest part of any business.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably the hardest and most rewarding, right?
Yeah, which is like most things in life, right?
Yeah.
It's like your spouse and your relationship with your spouse. Right? It's not easy, right? You're putting your heart out on a plate for someone to just eat alive, and yet it's probably the most fulfilling. Your children, raising children, pretty hard, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most fulfilling things ever. Yeah. So in my business, it's people. And then in the other development business, there's It's definitely municipality and capital.
Dustin, if you had a superpower, what would you say it was? What would you say your superpower is?
I would say it's a good question. I don't know. I know it's a simple question. I've heard it asked a bunch, but I've never personally been asked it. Um, I want to say communication, but I would say my personal inner superpower is it. I can go without any acknowledgement of feelings. So I'm not really feelings focused. Like when someone asks me during the day, like, how do you feel? And I'm like, how you feeling today? And I'm like,
I don't know.
I literally genuinely, I'm like, I'm not really concerned with how I feel.
All right. So, Dustin, we have just, as we end, I just wanted to ask you one question. When we used to do Fired Up Fridays, you had me on there about 4 years ago, and this is kind of a spin-off of that question. But what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Stay away from drugs and alcohol. Okay. Number 3, stay away from women till you're 30. Period. Oh, I do not have a kid. Do not have this. You want to spend the next 10 years of your life working harder than you possibly humanly possibly can on yourself. Because when you're in your 20s, you have no responsibility. You can fail, fall over, go broke, BK 3, 4, 5 different times and bounce back. You have no kids to take care of. You have no spouse to take care of. The person that you're going to meet at 22, whether you guys met yours at 22, that's very rare of sticking together because you don't know who you are. Even at 30, you don't know who you are.
Right.
So hone in on that, work and get very skilled at one thing and work as hard as you humanly possibly can. And don't spend any of your money and don't even invest any of your money. Just put it in a savings account and don't touch it. And live in an apartment at 200, 500 square feet, pay your whatever a month, drive a shitty freaking car and work as hard as you humanly possibly can. And when you wake up at 30, all your friends will just be waking up too, except it'll be from a fucking hangover. They'll have 2 kids with 2 different chicks. I'm not kidding. You're laughing because it's for real, right? They'll have all these issues, all these things, all these problems, and they'll realize, holy shit. Because you know what ruins most people's lives? You being dumb.
Right.
Don't be dumb. I got lucky that I got through all of it. But like if I'm 20, again, I'm spending the next 10 years working my face off. No drinking, no drugs, no girls, no partying, no nothing. And I'm getting really, really, really good at one thing. Because most people don't start doing that till they're 30.
Yeah,
I agree.
When they have to, after they've had a family. Yeah. Because here's what happens, guys. And you know this. Who you decide to be with in your life, you're an attractor. So you wake up at 30, you got $500,000 in your bank account. You know exactly who you are. You have high standards now. You're not going to tolerate a spouse that's lazy, a spouse this is for women too. You're not going to tolerate someone that's not dialed in. That's someone who doesn't do what they say they're going to do because you've been doing it for a decade.
Right.
And so now, instead of like, oh, I got with this person because they're cute and we liked the same thing and we had fun together. No, you're now making decisions because the number one decision you'll make in your entire life is who you're going to spend it with.
Right.
And you're going to make that decision at 21. You're an idiot. And if you did make it at 21 and you got lucky, good for you. You're the exception, not the majority.
Right.
You're the exception, not the majority. Like I met mine at 28. So I got, figure out who you are first, save money. You guys got me fired up today. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Hey,
see you.
Thank you.